Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial.com for sure. And it's they made what into a movie, a short one here, because we don't want to talk about this any longer than we have to. It is really, I think, at the moment, the one and only full festive movie that we were able to cover, although calling it festive is lamentable at best as well. It is, of course, Elf Bowling the movie. The Great North Pole Elf Strike. Because, don't forget that extra little bit there. You might be thinking, I've heard of Elf Bowling. It's a bowling video game, which was developed by N-Storm, released in 1998. Simply this, it was a bowling game. I played it on a Flash player, years later. You play as Santa Claus, attempting to knock down elves who are arranged like bowling pins. They said little pithy things here and there and all that, and so on. But that was about it. You played it for 5 minutes and went, well, that was a thing. And then you moved on.
Yep.
Yeah, what insanity made them go, let's try and make this into a game? Insane. Although it was actually later released. The game was later released on Nintendo handheld consoles. DS and a Game Boy Advance.
I mean, I think maybe on, what do you call it?
Mobile?
No, the bloody, the Wii sensor, the Wii Switch thing,
Right, okay. I can see, right, yeah. But then they already had bowling games,
of course,
do you know what I mean? Yeah. So if you don't know, the game was actually originally created as a promotional marketing content only by Dan Ferguson and Mike Bolensky, who were co-founders of the game studio Envision Design. And the game was, basically that. It was a marketing thing. Look what we can do.
Okay.
That kind of thing. But in 1999, basically, it became an internet sensation because people thought it was a computer virus. And this was because it was attached to emails as an AXE file. Back in the day, you used to be able to do that. You used to be able to attach .exe files to emails, which of course would have been viruses for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And according to Media Metrics, 54 million people played it. And in December 2000. That's a lot. It's a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
So yes, a computer animated film based on the game was then released on October 3rd, because obviously that was in 1999. So naturally, the movie came out a year later. Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Obviously. No, October 3rd, 2007. So, what? That's 9 years after it was released. A year after it had the internet success.
Made by the same people in the film, yeah?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I don't necessarily think so.
That's madness.
No, it's just one of those things. Absolutely insane, because that's what people were waiting for. Elf Bowling the movie in 2007. Obviously, the film was a United States, Fiji and South Korea co-production as well, directed by Dave King, with Rex Piano as co-director. And the film was released on DVD October 2nd, 2007, before being released on Amazon Prime on January 1st, 2008, and then Blu-ray on May 18th, 2016. So even got a Blu-ray release.
Could not find that on Amazon Prime.
I think, where was it? I think Tubi had it, but Tubi's not available here without messing around with VPNs and all that kind of thing. So there you go. Obviously, this is computer animated, so we got voice actors. Tom Kenny as Dingle Kringle. Yes. Joe Alaski as Santa Maria Clausewitz Kringle. That one. Sean Hart as Lex. Jill Talley as Mrs. Griselda Claus. Mrs. Claus. Rex Piano as Candle. And Jacob Asseline as the Elf Union leader. This is pants. This is awful. This is way too long. Excruciatingly boring. Stupid. Doesn't make a lick of sense. Has obviously nothing to do with the game. Of course, to a degree. Of course, because you can't turn that into a fucking story, can you?
Nope.
You'll hate every minute of this.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't. I didn't get it at all, So literally,
Well, you text me at the time of recording. You text me last night what Santa Claus is a pirate. Because yes, Santa Claus and his brother Dingle are pirates roaming the open sea, where they and their crew steal toys and sell them back to the orphanages. Orphanages. Orphanages? Am I saying it right? Orphanages.
Orphanage. Yeah.
Orphanage.
Orphanage. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the plural sounds weird in my head. So that's what they do. And I thought that was initially not the pirate thing. That's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But I thought, that's a cool idea. The idea that they steal the toys and sell them back to orphans is an interesting sort of twist on thing. The two also make money off the crew through bowling matches, where Dingle always finagles a score for Santa to win the game. So a little bit of dodginess going on with their crew as well. Yeah. However, one game, Santa's parrot calls out Dingle's cheating, sees it and calls it out, which basically angers the crew and they mutiny, forcing Santa and Dingle off the ship. Can't blame her for that.
No,
Do you know what I mean? Why are you stealing money for your crew?
Exactly.
Dingle and Santa end up being trapped in ice, and they float and wash ashore at the North Pole. So you can kind of see where we're going with this story already.
Yeah.
You know? It's fascinating stuff. There, they meet elves who recognise Santa as the prophesized Whitebeard.
Yeah, Whitebeard.
Ooh, the Whitebeard, yes. And they thaw him and Dingle out. They then ask Santa shortly afterwards to lead their factory. So this is how Santa becomes Santa. What a fascinatingly heartwarming story.
Yep, indeed.
The elves, they've already been making toys, they've been doing it, but basically they're all a bunch of idiots, and they've just been like, well, we don't know what to do with them. So we just kept them in storage. That's it.
3 mountains for you.
Yeah, that's it. And Santa basically has the idea of, well, let's give toys to the world's children, and thus Christmas is born. End of the movie, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
There we go. That's how it should be done.
Yep.
But it's like, okay, no, we can't just call it 15 minutes in and that be it.
It's got to be a bad guy.
Yes, there has to be a bad guy. So we jump to 1400 years later, and Santa has been basically doing good all around the world ever since, but he's become sick of his brother Dingle. Dingle has been loafing around his apartment and not doing anything, and Santa's like, you are lazy, I've had enough of this, you're not going to do anything, kicks him out.
Yep.
Harsh Santa. Harsh.
Yeah, it's because obviously he's married now too, obviously, and Mrs. Claus is sick of being ordered around by the brother. Yeah, so
yeah, just get your own place, Dingle. Why you live with him, man? Like a weirdo. Obviously, this upsets Dingle, so he decides, I'm going to get my revenge, and he wants to take over Christmas. He's going to plot against Santa, challenging Santa to a game of elf bowling, which Santa agrees to, because obviously previously he was always very good at it.
Yep.
Basically, the match involves each player performing one bowl, and whoever knocks the most pins down wins. It's like, that's not really bowling, guys. One game only.
Nope.
But Dingle has henchmen, penguin henchmen, Erwin and Claudio, because those are names, right? And he uses them to cheat, and declared the winner. However, for some reason, because you think, oh, okay, that's how it works. He takes over, and now Santa has to eventually get back and all that. No, his plan gets discovered. The elves, work out he's been cheating, and it's like, huh? Why?
Makes no sense. I don't get why they would work out. Surely it'd be Santa who would work it out.
But Dingle ends up tricking Santa into getting frozen, and then writes a fake note about how Santa hates the elves and is leaving. And the elves are all sad. They're all like, oh my god, Santa hates us. Because that was a real thing.
Yep.
And Dingle now uses the opportunity to make them follow him on a trip to Fiji, and then tricks them into a sweatshop. Yes, this movie has gone off the fucking rails.
Proper, yeah.
For real. Santa's wife finds him though, and now he, of course, unfrozen, he must get back to the elves in order to save Christmas and stop Dingle. Dingle hypnotizes the elves to do his bidding, except for one, apparently, which is Lex, and he saves them by accidentally hitting a reverse switch, because this entire sequence of events only happens by chance.
Yep, indeed.
This movie is terrible. Dingle now attempts to escape by using Santa's sleigh, but Santa catches up with him, and through the use of a power orb given to him by Lex, there we go, he's able to put Dingle in a scenario where they both end up falling down. This gives Dingle the opportunity to call an elf bowling rematch, which Santa accepts for some reason.
Should just kill him.
Well, that might be a bit harsh, yeah. But in the end, Santa wins, and Dingle's plans to thwart Christmas are thwarted. Yeah. And that's it. That is as much as I'm going to talk about Elf Bowling the movie.
1 hour and 22 minutes.
I can't believe it's this long.
It's ridiculous.
We would normally obviously be a bit more succinct here. We would go a little bit more into it. But just can't be bothered it, you know? It's just awful. And weirdly right, I would say, obviously this is aimed at children. Aimed at a younger audience.
Oh, yeah,
of course,
yeah,
right? That is the idea. Thinking it's an animated thing, it's silly, it's the whatever. But I think its plot is so contrived and so unnecessarily complicated that it's like, oh, I think they'd get bored. I think that kids would get bored with this, don't you?
I think they get bored. I think that there's some funny bits which they might laugh, like when he gets electrocuted from the tanning bed. People probably laugh at that, you know, but
yeah, I think immediately, right, if you're a kid that's like, oh, yay, Christmas Eve, immediately they're going to get turned off by the beginning.
Yeah.
By the literal opening and the pirate stuff.
I mean, you're talking about if you're sticking like a newborn baby in front of it, he'll just stare at it because of the colours. But we're talking about this is probably aimed for what, 4 to 5 year olds.
Maybe, yeah, roughly
So
around that.
they
That
would-
might be, but I think they're going to find it really dull.
5-10 minutes they'll be playing with the toys and
Well, yeah, they're going to completely get distracted because it's very, very long and not a lot happens in these times. Then you've got these weird twists and turns where, as I say, off the feeder we go, and this, that, whatever, and it's like, where is the fun? Where is the fun in this movie?
No, the music either too.
It's got issues, yeah. I mean, if we're talking about that, obviously the voice acting and the music and all of that is very, very bad. Issues all around that, but also the animation is not very good.
No.
Even by 2007 standards, we've watched movies in this pure video animation, CGI animation, all of that. Look at Raymond. We've just done Raymond recently, and that is better animated than this, I think.
Viva Pinata, even
Viva Pinata, right about this period. Yeah, absolutely. But that's a budgetary thing. That's money. I get it. Ain't no one pouring any major amounts of money into Elf Bowling the movie. But I come back to that question then. Why did you even bother to make it? Why was this a thing? Do you know this was supposed to have a sequel?
Really?
Indeed. But the negative response to this meant it was cancelled.
Do you think
it was
it's
going to
like
be a sequel.
a quick... we might better make a
Quick buck.
Yeah, quick.
Yep.
Bit of
little
cash.
bit of money. Probably weren't expecting. Weren't expecting to get like massive success at this, but maybe hoping, okay, if we can get some profit from it, we can maybe make this into a franchise. Elf Bowling, the movie, whatever.
I mean, if 54 million people downloaded it to play it, then they're probably looking at it thinking,
it got shared via email and stuff like that.
So
that's how it worked. But but even still, it was and I guess, right, let's try and come up with some positives. Credit can be given for somehow finding a way to get the idea of Santa Claus bowling elves who are pins into this movie.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah.
Like somehow they managed it. So credit to that, right? What else we got? I guess it is Christmassy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Santa Claus,
smells,
Christmas,
yeah,
all that.
Yeah.
The problem is, right, I'm normally like not too hot on the whole like, oh, how does Christmas become a thing, and let's do a version of that story. But, you know, there are variations done through Christmas movies and all that.
Yeah, of course.
The problem is there is one out there which is just better than all of them. So I'm always going to compare the two. And I'm like, in this, I'm like, Santa Claus was a pirate. And basically, because he was a dick to his crew, he got hoofed off the boat and then locked into it because the elves thought he was a particular prophesized person.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And that's really not very nice.
Nope.
I prefer this, you know, the variation where him and his wife are almost freezing in the snow and get taken in by elves and stuff like that. And so, you know, that sort of thing.
That's what I thought they were going to go for, but obviously then it was more like he was planning to rob all the elves, and then suddenly he felt a bit of conscience. I know his conscience.
Well, it was still supposed to be initially a scam.
It
was still supposed to be, but over time and all that. Which I would thought, right, if we're going to get super serious about it, then let's do that. Let's have him and his brother fall out over the fact that Dinger's like, it's been 1,400 years and we were supposed to do this and we were supposed to do that and now you're doing this and doing that. And Santa's like, yeah, you know what? I've grown to love this. I love doing it. And so on. I don't want to be part of this anymore. Maybe even still they occasionally did the odd scam that Santa felt bad about or whatever and things on. And then Dingle was all like, right, screw. And just, I mean, like, and I would have thought, well, okay, Dingle will become Krampus, like the anti-Santa and stuff like that. I think that would have been a way to go.
Number two.
But then it's too complex, isn't it? It's too complex for a shitty computer animated movie called Elf Bowling. Movie.
Could have very easily just done a half an hour film or half an hour little sketch. You know, done. Or nothing at all.
20 minutes or nothing at all. That's what I come back to, nothing at all. But man, oh man, we were struggling. We were struggling for content, Christmas specific. Maybe next year we'll be a bit luckier, and someone will have gone, someone will go, that level in Banjo-Kazooie. Let's make that into a frickin' movie, or this, that, whatever. Just something. Give us something.
Or just release a TV series like Halo season 3, whatever.
At Christmas.
And stick a Christmas tree in it.
Yeah, just a Christmas tree in the background for us to have, elements like that. That is Elf Bowling the movie. We're not going to talk any more about it. Elf Bowling the movie, to give its full title, The Great North Pole Elf Strike. It's terrible, and you'll upset your children at Christmas if you let them watch it, so don't. Just forget it exists. We will. In fact, I already did, because, spoilers, I actually watched this last year and promptly forgot I had done that, and it was only when it started off I was like, oh shit, I've watched this already. And joke was I watched it last year and clearly didn't even bother to write a review for it. That's how bad things are.
Exactly.
So this is us talking about it. This is as far as it goes. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.